Hello everyone, welcome back for another Anything Goes Saturday. Today I am playing with watercolor crayons. This was a set that I had it's two sets from Stampin' Up. I was kind of limited by my colors with what I wanted to do, so I've kind of pulled out the colors I want to use, and I needed a brown. Oh, I forgot my green. I think I want this green. Let's see. Let me get a scrap of paper and test it. Because this is a green also, but I think this is... I think I want that green. So, all right, I needed a brown, and there's no brown in here. I didn't get the set with brown. So I'm going to use these three colors. They say you can mix them, and we'll see what happens. All right, so let's see what my play with watercolor crayons will be. All right. I've got a piece of watercolor paper here, and I'm going to create a beach scene, for lack of a better term. So I'm just going to start with this, and I'm going to color it in, and I'm using the side of the pencil. All right, now I'm going to add some yellow on top. This may not work, we'll find out. I may have to find something else to do my beach. Let me do this, trace it. All right, and then I'm gonna take some blue. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my water and my marker. I didn't get those sides. I got to get those. Or my paintbrush, rather. All right. Now that I've got my color down, it doesn't look real good, let me grab my water and a paintbrush. Let's see if we get brown. Oh, I did. But I wanna get rid of the line there. Amazing. All right, now before I can do my next part, I have to dry this, so let me dry it. All right, I got that. Now I'm going to do my water. And I'm going to kind of go to about here. I've had these for a while. This one is kind of falling apart. Obviously, I haven't used this in a while, and you probably should because they kind of mess up. All right, I'm gonna blend out my blue here. A tip I will give you to get rid of your lines, do a lot of blending. So you have to have really good watercolor paper. Let me dry this, and I can add more on top. I think I'm going to add some of this blue on top, just because it'll make it darker. Okay, let me blend this in. Okay, let me dry this now. Okay, now I'm going to use this. This one was cracked, and I think that's why it's breaking. It's probably drying out. All right, I'm going to attempt to make a sky with some clouds. Okay. All right, let's see what I get. All right, let me dry this. Okay. I'm going to add some of this blue. Just because I want it just a little darker. Let me dry this. Okay, not the best, but I got it. Let me wipe this up. And now finished drying. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna actually put all this away. So give me a minute. All right, I still have my green because I'm gonna do some grasses, but I'm just gonna color with those. I still have my green because I'm going to take and draw some grasses on there, but I'm just gonna use it like a crayon. Now I need to do my sailboat. So I've pulled out my inks, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to stamp my sailboat. And I'm using a gray. All right, and then I'm gonna take, these are like watercolor pencils, and I'm gonna use a yellow. I'm gonna color this side. When you color a stamp, you want to use the side of your marker, not the tip. It just doesn't work. And I'm going to use orange, I think. There's a lot of blue on my background. Normally I do blue, but I've decided to do the orange. Yeah, I've seen people go at it this way. Not good. That'll ruin your tip. Use the side of your marker. All right. Now, I huffed on this because I'm not real familiar with them coloring on stamps. Ooh, that yellow does not show up very well. All right, we'll see how it works. I didn't think of that. Let me see. Let's do this green on here and on top and see what happens. Let's see if it just gives it some more, if you see it better. A little bit. All right, now I need to cut this out. So let me do that. Okay. It is cut out. Now I need to get my card base and my layer for this, and we can go from there. So give me a minute to do that. All right, I've got my layers. I decided to go with a darker blue to get it to stand out. So what I want to do now is I want to add some grasses. So I'm gonna and I'm not going to blend them. I'm just going to leave it like that. So you can use your watercolor crayons like a crayon or as a marker. Now, if I had brown, I would add some cattails to the top of this. I do not have a brown, so I'm going to leave it. Now, since this is very badly warped, I'm going to use some double-sided tape on the back. Okay. Stuck down too soon. Okay. That's only 3. I'm missing one. Oh, there it is. There. Now I have it all out. And this is still warped, so I don't normally worry about have this problem, but I put a lot of water on here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some double-sided tape on the back of this. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run it through my die cut machine. Hang on. Much better. So I took and kind of shrunk it down, flattened it. Okay, now I gotta put this on and my boat on. And I'm gonna put my sailboat in the water like so. Okay. And I think I'm gonna put some silver gems on this, like so. And it needs some glimmer in the water. So I'm gonna take my now I have to be careful and not go over my grasses. These are my Winka Stellas, and I'm down to the basic bottom of them. Yeah, there's just enough glimmer in there. You probably can't see it on the camera, but it's there. And there's today's Anything Goes Saturday. Join me next Saturday to see what I find in my stash to play with. Have a super day. Bye.